Goalkeepers, nervous strikers, they'll deliver. Crowd roars erupted, you can feel the quake. 80,000 voices.
Hello, the Nigerian football fans and football fans everywhere. During the past week, we all know what Jamie Carragher said about the AFCON in respect to Mo Salah, that he wouldn't be able to win the Ballon d'Or because he doesn't play in a major tournament, and he went to double down on the fact that he doesn't think the AFCON is a major tournament. And we've also heard what John Obi Mikel said, the ex-Chelsea player, Nigerian legend, who has also won the AFCON. What he said, reprimanding Jamie Carragher. And we've also heard other former professionals and present professionals that of African origin, African descent, or who have indeed played for an African country and have won the tournament, that have gone on to criticize Jamie Carragher's take on the whole issue. And I think I've also given my own opinion, but we've also now heard what Austin Jay Jay Okocha, the former captain of the Nigerian Super Eagles, what he's had to say, about what Jamie Carragher said. So I'll just play the video for you, and then afterwards I'll give my own 2 cents on the matter, and we'll take things from there.
There are some players that will say something, you just overlook it. If you look at their career, if you look at the type of football that they played, then you can understand, I mean, you won't want your son to be like Carragher. So he can never appreciate African football or the talents that come from Africa.
Now, you've heard it yourself what he's had to say. So for me, I kind of share his sentiment to some extent, with respect to Jamie Carragher would never appreciate what AFCON is, would never appreciate, the tournament in the African country, on the African continent, but for me, the important thing that I want us to all understand, because it's like a lot of people were taken aback or were shocked by what he said. Now, what he said is wrong, never defensible, but it's nothing new. It's nothing new. Unfortunately, it's been, in existence for a long time in terms of how, players from Africa are viewed when it comes to winning the big prizes, the big awards, in terms of how, the African continent is viewed in terms of the footballer quality, in terms of how the AFCON is viewed, because the AFCON is the only tournament, continental tournament on the face of the earth that people openly, criticize its timing and neglect the reasons why, the AFCON is played in January as opposed to June. We all know that when it comes to that period, the weather is extremely hot. And the coolest period you could find would be mid-December to mid-January. That's when you find some very cool weather across Africa. So that makes it the best time for players to come back and play in the AFCON. So this is nothing new. This is a rhetoric that's been going on. You even see some people that are even supporting him, and there's this I was calling this absolute loose head or loose cannon. What's his name? Is it Joey Barton? He comes on to say all sorts of silly things, and it's indeed come on to say he's been more overt with his discrimination. And a lot of people are going to come up there and say, it's free speech. You're allowed free speech. You're allowed to say what you want to say. No one should police what you say. It's all right. You can have free speech. No one is saying you shouldn't be able to speak what's on your mind. In fact, I think it's good to be able to speak what's on your mind so people know how to deal with you, so people know, to class you as an idiot, and people know not to have any interactions with you. I think it's even best that you come out and you say with your chest, as the kids say. So for me, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. It's just a shame, and that tells you that when you see someone like Jamie Carragher in the CBS studios with the likes of, is it Malik, in the CBS studios with the likes of Michael Richards and Thierry Henry, you just know that there's something lingering. There's something lingering beneath. You just know that. So the AFCON is not respected. It's not respected. For me, when it comes to continental tournaments, they all rank at par. I think I've said it before. They all are all on the same level. They're all on the same level. They're all on the same level. And then you have the World Cup here, and you have the AFCON here. The AFCON, the Euros, all should be at par. But you have all these sort of, I wouldn't say misgivings, but stereotypical poor view of the African continent in general, of African football, of African competition. And that's why I say, as Africans, as Nigerians, maybe you're a Ghanaian watching this, maybe you're a Cameroonian watching this, you don't need European validation. You just don't. Don't wait around for European validation. We should start to do things to improve our AFCON, improve the quality of the league, improve the quality of the competition, make in terms of its marketability, the commercial value, when it comes to even player awards as well. Because after all, the Ballon d'Or, the French was started by a French magazine. So we should be able to have awards, not African awards per se, but awards that recognize global talent, but are created by Africans. So those stumbling blocks or those stereotypical stumbling blocks will be taken out of the way. Don't wait for anyone to recognize you. That's what I do on this channel when I talk about, with this excellent talent, this superb talent, this wonder kid that should play for Nigeria or that should be part of the Nigerian football ecosystem. Because no other person is going to rep those players. It just doesn't happen. And even instances where you see a player, that was once eligible to play for England or Spain or Italy, when that player was still eligible to play for England or Italy, for instance, he's given that hype, he's given that praise. But the moment that player chooses to play for Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, the hype dies down. It dies down. So this is something that's been a running theme, and I think AFCON organizers should take this as, because of the different ways you respond to being offended. You can take it and you wallow and you cry and then you beg for people to recognize you, or you can take it and say, okay, watch me, I will show you. And I think that's what the AFCON organizers should do. I will show you. So that's it about that. And I've spent a lot of time on this. Let's go on to the next thing I want to talk about. So we're talking about talents on here. And there's Victor Odo. He joined Southampton from Royal Antwerp in January in the January transfer window. And he has been playing with their on the 20 or 21 side. And he's been in good nick so far, in my opinion. And he's someone, once again, I'm not saying bring into the national team and let him start playing immediately, but an eye has to be kept out on him. Eric Chill, the NFF, Nigerian Sports Commission should have their eyes out on him and other players as well and watch his progress. And I'll be giving you updates on his progress as well. And then we talk about this next topic would relate in a way to the first topic we're talking about. And that is Tems, the Nigerian artist, singer that was nominated for, a Grammy Award. So she has acquired some stake in MLS, an MLS club, the San Diego FC. Now, I know some people will be going on about why didn't she acquire a Nigerian Premier Football League club? Now, I would be in the same camp as well. I would be asking the question, why didn't she, seek to acquire a Nigerian club? Because it's state of the league. Why didn't she do that? Now, that comes into play where you have to make your product attractive. You have to make your product attractive for people to acquire, for people to pay, to want to be a part of. So we've got the talents, we've got the passionate fans, the MPFL, the LMC, they need to step up their game big time and start attracting investors, start attracting partners. And by partners, I don't mean, one European club, because because the truth of the matter is, a club like Sevilla, they don't have really the clout to make your league better, and it's not even their responsibility, and it shouldn't be their responsibility. The Premier League, are not meant to make your league better, and they shouldn't be having that responsibility. UEFA shouldn't have that responsibility. Even FIFA should not have that responsibility to make your own league better. It's time Nigerian league organizers look inwards, and start to look at ways to make the league better, make it more commercially attractive. You get investment. Even if you want to talk about foreign investment, there's a way you get foreign investment that makes sense. You shouldn't be going out to get foreign investment for Nigerian Football League, Premier Football League, like you are looking for charity, you're going cap in hand. If you're going to get investment, whether internal or external, you should approach it from the standpoint of, we are here to do business. This is what you gain, this is what we want to gain from you. And that's how you should do it. So for me, it stings a bit that, it wasn't a Premier League club she went to invest in, or an Italian club, or a Spanish club. She went all the way to MLS. And fair due respect to MLS, football isn't really the main sport in the US. So this is something she quite easily could have acquired a club in Nigeria for the same amount she just got a percentage of San Diego FC for. So, but then again, it boils down to the fact that the NPFL and other organizers need to do more to make these clubs more appealing, to make the league more commercially appealing. There are many things, losing players, immediately leaving the league, to make these things more appealing. So that's my 2 cents on all these topics. I'd like to know what your thoughts and opinions are in the comment section. And also on this channel, another video will be dropping where I will be talking about an unseen 11. You don't want to miss that. I've tried to put together, an unseen 11 of players that have never been capped by the Nigerian Super Eagles. And I'd like to know what your take would be on that one. So keep your eyes peeled on the channel for that one. So we've come to the end of this video. So subscribe to the channel now, click the notification bell so you're notified when I post a video on the channel, whether it's live or a pre-recorded video. And I'll see you on yet another video. So stay well and stay blessed.